This week's reading discusses a number of rather well-known topics and some rather less well-known topics. Among others, the mitzvah of what's commonly called Shelaḥ. Shelaḥ is a form of what's called terumah, which literally means just lifting up or taking out. It's the first of one's dough. Torah uses the term Reshith Arisofechem, the first of your dough. What does that mean? When you mix dough above a certain quantity, you're required to take a piece of it out to give to a kohen. It's one of the gifts that are required to be given to the kohanim. Okay, so what? What's the significance of it? Communal support, that's part of it. Look, the kohanim, the Leviim, didn't get a section of the land of Israel. The Leviim got a few cities, but they didn't get a section of the land. Because of that, you got extra, and therefore you support them, right? That's, paying for the communal good. Example, I work for the federal government, so I get paid a salary for that. You pay taxes, you're paying my salary. Then again, I pay taxes and I'm paying my salary, but okay, that's a side point. Those who are working for the communal good need to be supported in some way. Fine. That's the equivalent of the Kohen's salary. However, this does remind me of a bit in the Midrash. At the beginning of the Torah, it talks about the creation. And the Midrash gets into discussions over what was the purpose of creation. And one of them it says that the world was only created for the Torah. Okay, fine. Let's go with that. Another opinion is that the world was created for the sake of three things. Shelaḥ, which is what we just discussed, the first of one's dough. Maser, which is the tithing system one takes from one's produce as it grows. And bikurim, which are the first fruits, not the best, the first, that grow from certain species in one's fields, vineyards, etc. each year. Well, that's kind of weird. I mean, look, it gives textual basis for it because the Torah starts off with the word Bereshit, in the beginning of God's creation of the world, etc., right? And each one of these is called Reshit, the first of your fruits, the first of your produce, etc. But, so, I mean, yeah, okay, that's a textual derivation, but it doesn't explain the rationale behind it. These three things are so important that God would create the world for them. But it occurs to me that each of them serve, to some degree, a higher purpose. Why would a perfect God need to create a world at all? For a connection with humans, with the material world, with physical beings. Our purpose in life is to make a connection with God, to make a connection with each other. Well, the bikurim we take to the temple. That's an acknowledgement of God's greatness. We're in a sense giving to God. And the kohanim get to eat it. So we're supporting our fellow humans as well as making that connection to God. The first of our produce, well, depends upon what it is. Some of it goes to the tribe of Levi. Again, the communal support. Those who are working for the communal good, but also working in God's service. Some of it, what's called Maser Sheni, the second tithe, we take to Jerusalem and eat there. That's forging your connection with God. Or in certain years, instead of the second tithe, there's the tithe for the poor, as we give to poor people, to those who need assistance, being there for each other, social and communal good. And the Shelaḥ we already discussed is giving to the Kohen who serves God. So it's helping other humans, supporting each other, and supporting those who are maintaining that communal connection to God. So you're forging your communal and individual connections with God, your personal connection as well as the nation's connection. You're connecting with each other, you're supporting those who serve the communal good, and you're supporting those who are in need. The Torah is divided into two sets of commandments. There are what are called commandments between us and God, and there are commandments between us and fellow humans. The entirety of the Torah can be boiled down to those two relationships. The relationship between you and God, and the relationship between you and your fellow humans. These three items reinforce those connections. Our connection to the divine and our connection to our fellow humans. And as such, they were worthy that the entire world should be created for their benefit. Because that is the sum total of human existence. To connect to God, to connect to each other. So, everybody always tells you to work on your connection to God, and I'm not going to tell you not to, but I am going to remind you that you should also have connections with your fellow humans while you're at it. Shabbat Shalom.